Howdy saxophone geeks, welcome to today's pandemic edition mouthpiece test number 2 on the Otto link that we put some Baffle in. I'm also going to show you my current mouthpiece that's kind of a surprise that I've been enjoying quite a bit. We're going to talk about that. So that's the deal. Stay tuned for more saxophone stuff. Like I said, we're going to play test that mouthpiece a little bit today, see how it responds to the reeds we have and the work that we've done. So there we go. So those are the two things. The primary mouthpiece I've been playing, is this one. And it was kind of a surprise. So I've been having a little bit of embouchure trouble, and even since before the pandemic, I've been changing my setup a little bit, trying to go to a softer reed. And I've been trying to get more resistance in relationship to a softer reed on the horn. I started experimenting with larger openings. I bought the Ted Klum Florida green marbled one in a 7-star, and then something else at about a 7-star. Oh, my link that I had refaced by Eric Geffenhagen to a 7-star. But still not quite getting what I was wanting, and I bought a Florida, modern Florida link, the new thing, in an 8-star. Interesting. I kind of like the soft reed thing, and I bought this. It's what looked like a pretty middle-of-the-road rubber mouthpiece, and the plan was to have this refaced to like an 8-star. It says 6 on it, but the seller was selling it as a 7 because this maker's mark is a little off. A 6 is really a 7, a 7 is really an 8, going by your tip opening. And I got this mouthpiece, and I almost didn't play it. I was like, I'll just have it refaced, I'll send it to somebody. But I threw a reed on there, and man, this mouthpiece plays really good. So this is a genuine ebonite Ken Okatsu Traditional 2. This is the second model, made in Japan. And everything about this mouthpiece is extremely well made. Very, very accurate. The rails are the same thickness. I just played it. The rails are really nice. It's got a good amount of baffle in it. We'll turn it to the baffle side. And that's a good amount of baffle. I mean, it's more baffle that I'm putting into these mouthpieces here, maybe. So that's a fair dinkum amount of baffle right there, for me especially. But it's a pretty large chamber, as you could see. The material is really good. It resonates really nice. It's light, hard rubber, just like they should be. The reed fits right flat here. This isn't deeply cut, so there's no overhang of the reed. I don't know what to tell you. I just am very, very impressed with this mouthpiece, and it plays really, really good. It's about a 7. I like the facing length. This is, I kind of measured it, and it's got a number of 47 around, 46, 47 at the back, which I prefer. It's responsive for me, altissimo, all that stuff. It's a little bright, a lot of baffle for me. It's taking, I've been playing soloists and pretty dark links most of my time on tenor. So this is really an interesting mouthpiece. Again, just so very well made. I got it used, I got it around $250 or something like that. Again, I had plans to have it refaced, but I'm leaving it. It plays great. I would like to try the traditional one. This is the traditional 2, as you see. I think the traditional's probably the same chamber, little less baffle, more Florida, less Gregory. I don't know. It got a modern amount of baffle for this baffle to go as far back as it does, back to here. So I think that probably the traditional is a little less bright, maybe. But as it is, I've been able to play it, and it's really going well. I like it a lot. So very interesting mouthpiece. He's got a website. You got to search for it. It's in Japanese, but you can find a version in English. And I would try it. I think I'd probably reach out. I think they have a Facebook page, and I would reach out just to see if they're still taking orders and what the status is. But I would very much be interested in trying one of these, the traditional model in this 6, which is really about 100,000ths of an inch, kind of like a 7. Yeah, a little shy of a 7, maybe. So anyway, pretty cool mouthpiece, but let's go ahead and throw a reed on, and we'll play these 3 together, and you can hear the difference. I think you will. Alright guys, so this is the link that we've been working on. We put some baffle in. This is the second playtest. If you go back, you'll see the original playtest after we did some work on the material we added, and then I played it on a session. There's a track of that up on the channel. And here it is on the second shot. This is 3.5 Boston Sax Shop reed, which is kind of like a Rigati Gold or a Roberto's 3.5-ish, more or less. Alright, kind of interesting. We'll see how that video came out. If you're seeing this, it must have come out okay. It's interesting. The little bit of extra filing and finishing seems to have opened up the sound. It's not as kind of pinched nasal. It's also a fresh reed that's pretty nice, so the reed is a little forgiving. We'll try it with another reed. Let's flip to one of the other mouthpieces. Let's do the other link that we've been working on. So here's the other of the current production links. These are a little different in their shape. This is newer. This is a little older, but it's still current production. These aren't vintage links in any way. They're not early Babbitt. You don't got to worry about that. I wouldn't work on one of that like myself. You know, you can't afford them anyway, so it doesn't matter. But these are just current production mouthpieces. We picked up an extra one to do this also, and this one is closer to this one, which is older. This one, I believe one of the things that is this body shape is what they changed to when they made the new vintage link mouthpieces, the first rubber ones that came out. So I think this profile, this shape is related to that change. So anyway, we have the blue baffle in this one, and this hasn't changed since the last we play tested it, but we'll play it anyway. And I'm still talking. Alright, so the mouthpiece you just heard, the link with the blue baffle, this is this is kind of like a 7-star, at least I think, which is 2 sizes more open than this mouthpiece. This is a 6-star, so that's a big part of the sound difference than you're hearing, but I like the tone quality of this. Kind of like them both, frankly. And this is the Ken Ohatsu 6, which is really a 7. So in between these two, and a considerable amount of baffle. Let's see how it sounds. As you can see, I like this one. It's really bright, especially compared to these other two. So I would love to find one of these and maybe order, I guess, I suppose. It says his wait is at times like a couple of months on the website, but who knows now, especially with COVID and everything, where they're at. So if you were interested, I would check them out and just reach out. I might message them on Facebook and say, hey, you guys got them? What are you doing? Because I'd like to try the traditional, which is a little less baffle. That might put it a little closer so that I don't have to back off as much. And you can hear there's that little chirpy quality. For me, a lot of baffle in a mouthpiece doesn't go great. And I'm also getting used to softer reeds, 3.5s. I've played on 4s across the board for many years, and so it's taking some getting used to, I can assure you. And that's normal, and you should expect the same from yourself. You got to learn. You got to relearn sometimes. So that's a reality. So anyway, this video is frankly long enough. In another couple days, we'll do another play test of these 3 mouthpieces on some different reeds. Because I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk. And so anyway, that's what it all sounds like, and thanks for watching. Saxophone Geek, thanks for watching. Howdy Saxophone Geeks, welcome to the bench here. We're just hanging out. It's a pretty crappy day, and I figured I would do another play test of, there we go, a little more light there, but anyway, so we're going to give a play test. I'm going to show you a little bit about my current little, I'm going to redo all this. This is, if you see this, I don't know. I'm probably going to reshoot this. Howdy Saxophone Geeks, welcome to Saxophone Geek. Andy Volker here, the Saxophone Geek. Thanks for being here with us. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I had a gig with the Saxophone Support Group, which is a really cool organization by Charlie Colhase, the avant-garde writer and saxophonist, and Josh Sinton, New York cat, great improviser and also writer and music genius, historian kind of guy, with some other great cats, Dan Blake and Sean Berry, good Justin Robinson. I'm going to redo all this. Howdy Saxophone Geeks, welcome to Saxophone Geek. Today we're going to play test, I don't know why I'm itching. Howdy Saxophone Geeks, welcome to Saxophone Geek. Don't let anybody fool you. Doing this and not messing up what you're trying to say is a challenge. That Better Sax guy does a pretty good job. I wonder if he's got a script, if he's got stuff written down. He does a good job. Because I feel like I'm babbling. I'm not even babbling because I'm baffling, but I'm not baffled. We're talking about baffles, but I'm babbling. This is not going well.